I will be introducing to Mr. Daniel Victor. So a little brief about Daniel Victor. Mr. Daniel Victor has a PG diploma in computers from Anna University. He decided to use his computer knowledge for the upliftment of persons with disabilities. He had his rehabilitation training in Japan. He has a vast experience in the more than 35 years in the rehabilitation field. He, along with his wife Avitha, started Agape Rehabilitation Centre in 1995. Daniel and Avitha have pioneered computer training for all the different abled groups, and Daniel has served in the RCI National Committee for ICT for PwDs. A little bit about Agape. Agape gives comprehensive rehabilitation to young persons with disabilities using computers primarily. Agape has guided and helped more than 2,000 persons with disabilities in the past 27 years. This includes not only persons with physical disabilities, but also persons with blindness, persons with deafness, and persons with intellectual disabilities. So over to Daniel, sir, and let us hear what he has to say. Thank you.
Good evening to everyone. Thanks for this opportunity. I'd like to thank Sandeep and Justice and Hope for this wonderful opportunity to share about Agape at this platform. Let me start by sharing my screen. So Agape means God's love. It's taken from the Bible, and we are inspired by Bible and Jesus. But all our services are common to all persons, irrespective of caste, creed, or religion. So, but God's love motivates us to do what we do. So we have named this as Agape Rehabilitation Centre. I and my wife Avitha started it 27 years ago, and we do comprehensive rehabilitation of persons with disabilities, but we focus most on vocational training because that is the skill that we have. So being computer professionals, we started computer training so that we can give vocational training in computer, give them a skill and get them job placements so that they can be integrated into society. So we keep the person with disability at the center and like to see what we can do best for them, what is best for them, and we focus on their ability and try to enhance their ability that they have so that they can overcome the limitations of the disability that they have. After 10 years of our ministry, of our work in Agape, we were chosen by the Tamil Nadu government for the Best Institution Award for persons with disabilities. So that was in 2005. So we cater to all the major different disability groups, locomotor disability, LD, or intellectual disability, ID, and neurological disability, spastic, and spinal injury, people, and people with hearing impairment, the deaf, and the people with visual impairment, blind. So being a computer professional, we try to see how we can make use of that as a tool to reach out to young people with all the different disability groups. And we find that they all have the same needs, irrespective of what disability they come from. So what we focus mainly is about the vocational. But to have the full benefit of the occasional training we give, we know that we should give them physical rehabilitation and emotional rehabilitation too. And of course, we believe we need to do some thing about the spiritual need also. But in Agape, we focus on the occasional very much, and we do physical and emotional as supportive to the occasional rehabilitation that we do. And as I told you, computer training is our flagship program. So we have trained more than 600 people in computer training. Uh, and we have found that is in a 1-year course. So that's a full-fledged 1-year computer course with government certification. Previously, it was different. At present, it is the COA certification from the Department of Technical Education, Government of Tamil Nadu. So around 650 people have been trained, and 400 to 450 people have been placed in jobs which are viable, which are economically viable for them, so that they can they can stand on their own feet as it were. So you can see the different type of training being given. Of late, in the last 4-5 years, we have been giving them free laptops on graduation, so that they are even more empowered. Not only people who can make computers at their vocation, there are other people with specialized needs. Like for example, we have trained a person who without hands. He came from Calcutta, and he has a DTP center of his own in Calcutta now. So we were able to teach him how to use mouse and keyboard using his feet. And of course, we were one of the pioneers who brought in training for blind persons using JAWS, the screen reader software, in 2002, 2003. And we have trained people who are using computers in their work spot. Very few, but anyway, they make use of computers in their work spot. Blind people in their organizations, they use computers in their work. Not only computer training, we give them from time to time when we get other people, we try to give them handicrafts where they can do something with their hands, some trade, and we also give them a platform to say to sell what they make. Here we see what the palm leaves, panavole, making baskets and out of that and selling it in our programs. Jobs for the disabled. Actually, we started Agape with this tagline, jobs for the disabled, in 1995. So I just wanted to put that there. So we like to place students, clients who come to our place in computer jobs. So these are some of our graduates who have been, who have found jobs. And here you see a row of people working. That is our job center. We have what we call Able Computers, is a unit of Agape, and where we take in job work, and we have people who are graduates who are yet to find good jobs. They come and work for us. And at one point we were doing contract work from US and Japan. So now that is slowed down. We are capable of providing jobs for people who have been trained in computers and not yet placed in good jobs. That is done through Able Computers. Of course, we help in self-employment also. Some 4 or 5 people have been given some computers which they can start a small computer training or tuition center in their own homes. So you see some photos about that. And of course, we go one step forward and help people get a small room where they can stay, so that they can work nearby their work spot and stay near their work spot. Coming to the physical rehabilitation part, our main work of helping them physically rehabilitation is mostly giving wheelchairs and tricycles to them. We have given more than hundreds of wheelchairs and tricycles over the years, which help them to become mobile so that they can go to their work spot. and keep up the job. And in the last few years, we have started physiotherapy to assist them to gain more strength, especially if they are having been affected by polio, then their upper body can be strengthened. So we do provide physiotherapy services by collaborating with PwDs Physio Rehabilitation Centre in Gilliwackam. So physiotherapists from there will come to Agape as per the need, and now we are even after lockdown we just started twice a week we have physiotherapy sessions on Tuesdays and Fridays in the morning. This is open to any person with disability. They can come and make use of this service. Um, for people who are doing the 1-year computer course, we have a small hostel. Agape is still in a rented premises, so we are able to allocate a small space, separate living space for boys and for girls. So we can take up to 5 of them, 5 boys and 5 girls. After the COVID, we are still not started hostel. We have started computer training and physiotherapy, but hostel we are yet to start. Just watching to see whether we can start or not. We are aware of the emotional need of persons with disability. So from the very beginning of start of Agape in 1995, we started monthly program, a get together for them, where they can come together for some peer support. Each one can motivate the other, peer group support system like. So third Sundays, every third Sunday in Agape, we have this monthly get together, and over the years it has grown slowly, gradually. So now we have 3 monthly get-togethers, and we have divided it according to disability group. So for LD, we continue to have it on third Sundays at 3 o'clock. On second Wednesdays, we have for the intellectually disability group. And on fourth Sunday, we have for the deaf persons. So that is a time when they gather, and we have something which can offer them. Like this month, we had in all the 3 monthly get-togethers, we have the eyes check. So if they need a reading glass, they will get it in the next month. So this is given free of charge to them. So each month we try to do something like that. 1 month we'll have a competition, winnable competition. Like that we used to have. For every month we'll have some program which is a good encouragement and a good motivation for them. We have the year-end celebration also. The monthly get-togethers finish with the year-end celebration, that is Christmas time. So we have had once we wanted to bring all this together, and also during the yearly programs we invite the blind persons also. So all the 4 together, we in 2018 we had more than 1,000 people celebrating Christmas together, disabled persons of different disability groups. So that we have singing, dancing, see people in wheelchairs sitting and dancing, and blind people singing. The other thing we do for the emotional need is counseling and guidance. So here we see a deaf person being counseled in sign language. We frequently have to do family counseling, and of course we do group counseling for parents of persons with intellectual disability, with the psychologist handling those sessions. So our other programs include picnic. We had in the icebreakers picnic, and we heard that Agape, my wife was sharing that we take persons with disability up to the beach. From 1996, we have been doing it every year, except for the COVID years. Every year, the people who are coming to our monthly programs in October, maybe September, November sometimes, but mostly in October, we take them to the beach. So we have volunteers, we have beaches, and they enjoy the water. So that is really good. And we used to have a fun bus we call, which has a hydraulic lift. We used to be taking that for easy mobility. We have gone boating also. We have gone to Mahabalipuram also. And once or twice, I think maybe a couple of times, we took blind people on picnic so that they can touch and feel and they can uh, visualize that uh, and enjoy the sculptures in their own way. So this is a winnable competition that I was talking about. The June monthly get together will always be winnable competition, which will include singing, speech, chess, carom, and a talent competition. So here we see a person on the floor, but he can carry a bucket full of water. And people who do handicrafts in their own way, and they can sell their products also. So we have competition based on these things for all different disability groups. That's in June in our monthly programs. During COVID, we were all in lockdown, as you know. So we uh, we started a new initiative, something like a CBR, community-based rehabilitation. So we went to the place where people are, and we gave relief. That was the most needed thing. So we used to go in van and give people, all persons with disability relief, one bag of groceries or provisions worth 1,200 rupees. And we went to other places where more persons with disabilities are found. Or sometimes when the lockdown restrictions are okay, people come to Agape and take those relief. Not only this relief which we give twice during these 2 years, we gave them twice. We prepared lunch packets and distributed to people with disabilities, especially on the roads. So here is one person who really liked that, and she was actually kissing that food packet because they were waiting for it, otherwise they will be starving. And so our staff met many persons with disability who were really in need of food during this COVID time, and we were sort of reinventing ourselves and starting some field work instead of just being like a computer center. We were going out and meeting people and trying to help them. This is the photos from when we started in 1995. So I and my wife have two kids. Now my son is I am tech in chemical engineering and he is doing business. And my daughter is PG in counseling psychology and she's a psychologist. And this photo shows the first batch of students we had in 1995. So 27 years we have been serving persons with disability. Financial struggles, physical, emotional difficulties come and go, but the Lord has been faithful to us, and we have been helping people. We see many persons with disability coming to Agape and making use of the services here, and the depression turns to joy, the loneliness to time of sharing and caring to for each other, and the families who thought that they were a burden to society see them as a blessing. Sometimes they become the main breadwinner of the family because of the computer training here. So we have been it's been a joy for us that we have been instrumental in changing lives and rehabilitating people. And for some statistics, I think after the COVID, we reached out to many more people. So we can say we have reached out to and impacted the life of 3,400 persons with disabilities. Because as I told you, computer trained 1 year course will be 620, and people have found jobs around 440. It's a very good percentage of 70%, which we maintain. So moving forward from almost 15-20 years ago, we had a dream of making Agape into a bigger facility. So we planned for it, and we purchased 1 acre of land in 2010, 12 years ago. And we have been trying to get approval to start building. So we are still waiting for the approval. Hopefully, we will get the approval to start building, and we'll have the finance to build it too. And this will be an accessible place to give services to 100 persons at the time, and 60 of them can stay and take our services that we can offer. So we are waiting for this to happen, and we hope in the future we'll be able to do that. So this is in short what Agape is, what we have been doing, and if you have any questions, you can ask. So Agape is in Chennai. So in North Chennai, in Perambur, maybe a place where everybody would have heard about Perambur. So we are very near Perambur. We have been always here in around Trivikan bus terminus. Because of being in rented premises, we have been to shift to twice or thrice. But now we are in a place for the last 10 years. And we hope to continue in this place before we can build and move to our own place. The place that we have purchased, 1 acre of land, is approximately 5 kilometers from here, just outside beyond Madhavaram. And anybody, any person who is above 18 who can study computers or who want to make computer as a vocation, they can apply to us and get in touch with us. So I will give my contact information in the chat box.
Thank you, sir, for that really heartwarming presentation. Amazing work that you're doing. Thank you. Thank you for sharing it with us. I just wanted to know, I have a friend who has, who's now not able to move any part of her body. And she's not even able to speak properly because she can't speak. She can only just make some sound. So I was just wondering if it is possible, if you have any technology where with the movement of her eyes, she'd be able to communicate.
Yeah, I have heard of and even seen about having a computer input or any device input using eye movement, but that is, I don't think it's available even commercially in India. So maybe the research is not fully done. So we have to wait for some more time for that to happen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
if you are in Chennai,
any
you can
questions?
come. If you are in Chennai, you can come and visit us. Just give us a call before coming. So we will make sure that I or my wife or both will be here. It was great to have Sandeep yesterday. He came and met us. So, you can please anytime drop in and see what we have to offer, so that you can spread the word around and have many people make use of our services, be it computer training or physiotherapy, or just taking part in our monthly programs and being motivated and encouraged to that.
Yeah, so everyone can ask questions, or you can either say unmute yourself and say, or you can put it in the chat box. Yeah, we have quite a bit of time for questions, so you can ask.
Brother Daniel and others, I'm Sydney Gandhi once again here. I'm from Hubli. I was part of Equip India. I remember visiting your center. I remember visiting your center around 8 years ago. I was very impressed with the work you're doing and the down-to-earth approach you had towards helping the people with disability, and the wheelchair programs you had. I think I was trying to partner. We were trying to partner regarding wheelchair discipline, and if I remember right, you too visited Equip India the following year, for the wheelchair program. Yeah, you're doing a very great job, brother, and sister also. Congratulations to both of you, and hats off. May God bless you and help you to grow so that you could serve more people. And I hope that you get permission early for your construction and the required funds also.
Yes.
Great job. Please do keep it up.
Thank you.
So I have one question. Do people come only from Chennai or other districts, other states also?
Yeah, we have had people from other districts mainly, sometimes very rarely from other states. But that's for usually the 1 year computer course, because it's for just one program, or it may not be very possible. Or for example, physiotherapy, it may not be very possible to come. But our graduates, they do come from far and near for our annual program. That's during Christmas. So we have had people coming from Mumbai, Kerala. They are graduates, so if possible, it is easy, convenient for them. They make it a point at least in once in 2 or 3 years' time to come and join us for the annual Christmas celebration. Because computers are in English, so English is the medium, but of course we can explain things in Tamil also. So we are used to signing and explaining also. If they know English, deaf people can also come and learn computers. They have learned computers and found jobs also. Because I and some of my wife and others, we know sign language, so we can train them using sign language.
So it's mostly training for people with locomotor disability, or what about intellectual disability? Can they be trained and employed?
We have to look case by case. So because the spectrum is so wide, we can't just say that a person with intellectual disability may or may not be employed or employable for that matter. So we do a case by case study. We think the young person who's 18 and above, who have just stopped going to school, and they are at home, and they are sometimes even locked up by their parents. So they just look at the TV or mobile, and they have problems with sleep, and they have to have their medication increased and so on. So we found quite a few of them in our community, and we said you can come and go here and have some activity. Primarily, doing something in the computers, because that's what we have. So we started these persons with intellectual disability who are young adults who will come here, so they have something that they can aspire to wake up to. So they have some motivation. So they come and they do some computers, some paint work, or some typing work, or some games. They just do for some time, and then they go back. So that is a good sort of a therapy for them. So many people who have started coming, who have shut down in their homes, their medication have been lowered because they have started coming here. Some people who started coming and taking training or using the computer, they were able to pick up so well that they started working on that. But there are very few. If we have trained, say, around 100 people, only 5 or 6 of them have found employment in computers, people who are having intellectual disability. But there have been cases like that, working in a Photoshop, working in a video place. So they know how to connect those devices and download and things like that. So they can go along with videography. And so we have trained some people, say 5 or 6 people like that. So we have found some success there. But the main point is, for them, it is like a recreational place. Come here, spend some 2 or 3 hours with the computer and go back. And that is helping them to, the parents to manage them. Sort of thing. So,
Thank you.
Daniel, Deepak here.
yes. Hello, Deepak.
Yeah, this is especially when you have work among blind people. Is it easy for them to find jobs in the future?
Yeah, actually, in computers, we find it so difficult to find jobs for blind people. So actually, we have decided, and we have done that almost as a rule, that we will train blind people from institutions where they are working, where the employer is saying this computer training will benefit or enhance his work profile. So that is how we have been able to help some people, like Mission to the Blind, India Fellowship for Visually and Impaired Persons. The people who are working there doing some braille work, now they are unable to do much of it because the organization is going towards computerization. So we pick the people who can do computers and train them in computers so that they can continue working in that. So by that we retain the employability of, say, some 10 to 20 blind people. To take a blind person who is has the intellect to study computers, and having trained them, we always find it so difficult to get them jobs. So that's not only it's not only in India, but even in abroad we find it is so difficult to find employment for blind people in the field of computers, because it's so visual. Accessibility, every software, every people are giving a lot of accessibility features, but still there is a big limitation there. And in India, when you come to employment, for one job there are more than 10 people who are applying. So how do they choose? So they look for a very fit person only. So if we can convince the employer that he is as good as anybody else, then we get them job. That's how we get jobs for persons with a locomotor disability. We say that you make it accessible, that they come and sit in the front of the computers, then they can do. Even if their hands are a bit weak, they'll be able to do with some accessibility feature. But for blind people and for deaf people, that's a problem. Many employers just verbally shout across some instruction. But if you employ a deaf person, you have to go near and get his attention, and you have to sign what you want to say. For blind people, visually, people have to understand and do so many things. Many things in the office place is still visual media, be it a paper or pen, and so it's so difficult to get jobs. But still, we want to make computer training available. So we tell. There was a time when we took classes for people who wanted to use computers and mobile as for their entertainment, for their social media. So we said, okay, we can teach you that. It's not a promise of employability, but that you are not going to miss out on being in the social media if you get. But now that has become so easy with smartphones now. But before smartphones, we used to do that. We train them so that they can communicate with their other friends and easily using computers and phones and things like that. So that is a big limitation for persons with blindness. Yes.
So it's all to us, we should tell our friends and all who are running companies to, hello?
Yeah. Yeah. Your voice
It's
is
up
breaking.
to us to tell other people to hire them, right? Like make them comfortable in the workplace.
Yes. If we have taken some professionals like we trained a person who had a master's in social work, so he can get employed because he's a master in social work in many places. So he has to know just Word and Excel, and then he can easily find jobs. So we have a couple of people like that we have trained, and they have found jobs on their own because their classmates were getting job, but they are supposed to use computers in the work spot. But that's the skill that they haven't learned at that point. So they came to Agape and we introduced them to jobs, and they picked up and they found jobs. But they are very, very few and far between who can work in a corporate. They have the skill set for accomplishing a job. But this tool of computers alone, they haven't picked up. We can train those people and they can easily, that need not be a limitation for them. That sort of thing we can do. I think we have trained like 50, 60 blind people like that and got them jobs.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have any other questions? I can. Okay, so thank you so much, Daniel sir, for sharing and for giving us your time and sharing about Agape and the work that you all do, and for inspiring all of us, and yeah, and we also thank Sandeep. Thank you so much for sharing about Unnathi and the work that Unnathi also does. We thank you both actually for all the hard work and the care and compassion that you have towards people with disabilities. We will have another meeting again, same time, 6:30 next month on the 4th Friday, May 4th Friday. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for everyone for being here and for attending this, for taking out your time and being with us here today. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for listening and thanks for the opportunity. You can reach us for any of the services for any person that you can think of. Okay, thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.